Welcome to Enduring Journey to Bliss. My name is Deanne, and I wanted to share these plants. I have these plants growing in a community pot, essentially. And the ones I really wanted to show you today, it will show you the little name tag here. So this one is a Hypoestes Splash White. I'm not sure if I said that name right, but that is the white on this side. And the other one is the same type of plant, that Hypoestes, Splash Rose. I didn't write that very clearly, but that's what that is, Splash Rose. And I've had both of these plants since October of 2025. And when I purchased these plants, they were in tiny little, like 1-inch little, those little plastic terracotta looking pots, very tiny. They were very small. So they have grown in this community pot that I have them growing in. But what I really wanted to show you today was some of the blooms. So these actually do give blooms. Especially my white one has had multiple blooms, and I've not removed the dead blooms yet. You can still see them here on this little stem. The top one is still a viable bloom. I'm hoping you can see that. There we go. So yeah, these actually do bloom. Typically, when you see them in any kind of a nursery, or if you want to purchase them, they're not in bloom. And they're small little blooms. They're dainty. They're very small. But I think that they are quaint, and I like the fact that I get blooms. I always do enjoy the plants that have their foliage variegated in different colors, but I am such a flower person that I really enjoy when I can get blooms on any of my plants. Most plants will bloom if they have all their needs taken care of, because of course in nature, typically that's one of the ways they reproduce, correct? They can spread by root, rhizomes, tubers, other ways they can spread in that nature as well, but typically it's when the flower forms, and then after that seeds develop. So a lot of plants that we grow as house plants, theoretically in nature, could reproduce with flowers, but these are not typically sold as a flowering houseplant. They are really sold for these gorgeous variegated leaves that you see on these plants here. So some of the flowers have fallen off, and so I didn't need to do some cleanup. This one hasn't quite fallen off yet, but if I just grab it with my fingers and give it a little, not even a twist, it came right off. So I need to do some of that cleanup maintenance. Over here are some that have fallen off, and they're just like on top of the other leaves. So I need to kind of do some cleanup. There's one down right here that I need to just remove. So, yeah. So this one, it looks like right here, it's not as big as the other one, but this stem here has also started giving me some blooms. There's the holdover. Come on, focus. Focus. Well, let me back it up. So that little flower is coming off of that little stem right there, and there's a bud. Is that actually? Nope, that one's no good anymore. It's already done its job. But you can see that flower there. And that stem will continue to elongate and it'll give me more blooms. Just like this one here, continue to elongate and give more blooms. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit with you guys. All you have to do is give it a little pinch, not even a pinch, you just pinch onto the expired little bloom, comes right off. And that cleans up the plant. Oh, there's a good shot. It's just quaint. It's very nice, simple little flower. And it'll bloom all the way up the stem. It'll continue to elongate, and I'm just going to see if we can look down here and maybe see if we have anything else going on. Come on. So there may be another bud down in there. I'm not sure if that's a leaf or a bud. I can't quite tell, but that's okay. I'll take this cute little bloom right here on this little plant. There you go. It's nice. And the foliage, of course, like I already mentioned, it is quite pretty on its own. You don't have to, the flowers are not the showstopper, really, not on this plant. It is the foliage, the leaf variegation on there. Now this one over here, there's some more flowers. There's a stem right here. Can you see that stem? The stem is right there. And so the one flower just fell into the pot. This one's still connected. I'll take it off. So this is blooming in multiple areas. And so this little stem here, I anticipate that stem will continue to elongate, and I will get more blooms, hopefully, from that area right in there. So that is the white splash. And then the rose splash, which is growing on this side. Again, the variegation is really what it's grown for. It's quite interesting. And you can see here one of its flowers. And its flowers are a little bit deeper color, which is not surprising because of the type of variegation it has. So it has this little purple one. Let's see if I can get my finger behind it. Right there. And so its stem is right here, and in theory, it will continue to elongate, and I will theoretically get some more little blooms off of this one as well up in there. So, yeah, it's a nice little plant. I anticipate more blooms, and there's one in here that looks like it is starting to fade. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, that has faded. There's a couple of them there, so I'll go ahead and I'll remove the faded ones from that area. There's a couple that were faded. So this, I think, will give me more blooms. This little stem here, you can see that purple on that one. That, I think, will give me more blooms. This one, I think that one might be expired too. Let me grab that. Yep. That one has already, and they don't last long, these little tiny buds. They are kind of like 1 day, maybe 2 days if you're lucky. But underneath, it's just kind of like stems. I need to clean up. There's some dead leaves down here. But there's the stems. And then up top, of course, is that gorgeous foliage. And like I said, these are kind of growing in a community pot. There's actually 3 African violets in here as well. There's one right here. These are the miniature African violets that you can get these days that come in those tiny little 1 or 2 inch pots. So here is one. I will spin this. Here is another one, and this one actually has, I'm hoping it'll continue to form, at least 1, if not 2 little buds right there for that African violet. And then I'll spin it around. And this one here is right here. And actually, Hopefully you can see in the very center of that, I think there's a little bud. That's great to see. So yeah, these all are growing in pon, P-O-N, and that pon is basically, it's perlite is the white. This is a black charcoal right there. There is some zeolite, that green right there. If you can see that green, that's a zeolite, that green. And there's also some bark, as you can see. This is the bark, the brown right there. And there is some lava rock in there too, some small lava rock. Let me spin this. Actually, I'm sorry. The charcoal looks more like this. This is the charcoal, and actually, some of that black is a dark black lava rock. Again, the green is zeolite, and that brown is small wood. So like bark, not wood, bark. So that is what these African violets and these Hypoestes, I'm not sure of that pronunciation, are growing in. But I wanted to share because I noticed the blooms, and the blooms do not hang around for very long. So I wanted to quickly get this photo, this video for you all to view, and for me, because I go back and look at these. I'm going to go ahead and clean up a little bit, pull out some of the dead flowers, some of the dead leaves, the lower leaves, because as the newer leaves grow in, the older leaves at the bottom do not get the same amount of light, so they end up dying. That's normal. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, I'll kind of lift this, and I need to pull off some of these leaves, the ones that have passed away, because those, when you leave those on, that is an invitation to pests and opportunistic fungus, whatever, that will feed off of them. Now, if you look down here, I'm hoping this is going to show up. I'm going to use this as a pointer. Hold on a second. So if you look down here, oh, you can't quite see it. Let me move this back. If you look down here, you can see new growth right there. I will bring the camera in and show that to you. So even though I have my older stems that are still giving me viable, nice, healthy, very pretty leaves, down here, you see those little tiny baby ones coming up? Those are the beginnings of some new stems, some new growth. So that's great to see. I like seeing that. That's wonderful to see. But yeah, the stems, they do get a little bit leggy looking. But those new little babies down there, they're going to fill in for me. But really, this is about the foliage, about the leaves, the leaf color. Anytime you see these in the nursery, you very rarely ever see them in bloom. They are not sold for their flowers. That's not the true attractors on these plants. You saw how small the little tiny blooms are. They're very small. We'll come back up on this one. They're not prominent in any means, but I like them. I think they're just a nice addition. I do like the variegation on the leaves, and it's an easy plant to grow. So, yeah, just pretty little plants, both of them. And like I said, I got these. Actually, did I get them in October, or is that when I repotted them? I might have got them actually in September and then repotted in October. I try to do better with my tags, but the only date I have on here is the 10/2/25. I really think that's the date that I did the repot and put them into the pond, put them into this community pot with these African violets. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to share that with all of you. They're very pretty little plants with their variegation on those leaves. Again, this one on this side is the rose splash variety or splash rose variety, and the ones on this side over here, that is the splash white variety. Again, there's that pretty little tiny quaint little bloom. Anyway, hope you all are having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for visiting. I appreciate it very much. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments, and I do my best to respond to any and all of those. And I will do updates on all my plants. I am attempting to create a playlist for all my different plants that I grow, not just for myself to go back and view, but of course for all of you who have the interest to see how the plants evolve and grow and change over the time that they're in my care. So thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you visiting. Have a wonderful afternoon, and feel free to stop by again soon. Take care.